Hello, everyone. Apologize for technical difficulties earlier. You may have seen a notification that I went live, and then another notification. Just had some technical difficulties with my screen. That is all sorted out now. So thank you for joining. Peter France is along for the ride today to help break down the bracket. Peter, I know you played in Atlantic League last year, and you are in Midwest League this year. But it's great to have you on the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's nice to see some of these familiar names, see some exciting matchups. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. So the way it's going to work is we've got 12 playoff qualifiers. We've got out of four groups. We've got four group winners. Each of those group winners will get a bye to the second round, which in this case will be the quarterfinals, and then all four second place. The four second place finishers will each play against the third place finisher, and of course the winner of those the four winners of those will advance to play the group play winners. And then the additional twist is we will not allow any group play rematches until the semifinals. So if, for example, Ryan finishes, if Ryan is playing the winner of the Ryan will play the winner of a two versus a three, but neither of those can be Andrew or Michael because he faced them in the group stage. So that is our only restriction, and otherwise it'll just be completely random. And yeah, so Ryan initially, sorry, Ryan, Peter. Initially, you're looking at the names of these 12 playoff qualifiers. What sticks out to you? Can you talk to me about somebody you'd like to avoid here in the early going in the first round if you were in this tournament?
Yeah, there's a couple of names that immediately jump out to me. One is Gabriel, and I know he had a pretty good run last year, and the other would be Tim Furrow, who I think I've only played once and beat, but he has a pretty solid reputation and he won it last year. I mean, what can we say? So I think those would be the two big ones.
Yeah, definitely. Those two are big names coming out of the first round. So whoever would land those in the second round, obviously they still need to win in the first round to make it there. But yeah, those are definitely two big names to keep an eye on. But okay, let us go without further ado to the wheel of names. I've taken the liberty of putting the names of each of the four group winners. Now, before we get it out of the way, I'm sure the chat will mention it, but this is my first time qualifying for the playoffs in Atlantic League. I've played 2 years in a row now, and both years I missed out on the playoffs by one game and had a losing record in group play. So I'm thrilled to be in the playoffs this year. Yeah, very, very, very exciting.
And you're making it to the second round, so good for you.
Yeah, super exciting. And related, this is the first year I've been in pot one the last 2 years, but all four players in pot one who were seated in pot one from group play made it to the second round. Just one player from pot two, then two each from pots three, four, and five round out the field. So really just tells you anybody can win an Atlantic League Twilight Struggle. And so here we are. We will begin. So our playoff bracket is here. I'm bouncing around a little bit. So we'll seed first this spot, then this one, and this one with group winners. So I will start with a spin, and it is going to be, oh boy, me. So Justin Abramson. I don't know who that is. Peter, do you want to talk about Justin Abramson?
I I've never played him in official rated play, but I do remember really, really, really trying to protect Poland against him for some reason, and he still managed to win the game, even though I was pretty ahead throughout. So I think he's probably a contender, but again, I don't know. Maybe he'll just fall apart in rated play. Can't say anything about that.
Yep, that's definitely a thing that could happen to him. There's no doubt about that. He's definitely had that experience before. But okay, Justin is slotted in there. Next will be the other Justin. We have Justin Nordstrom, who will be there. And Peter, I know you play with Justin on Team Pennsylvania. Is that right?
Yeah, we play in team games, but then also the team Pennsylvania folks also play a lot of games against each other. So have gotten a lot of his play, a lot of experience against him. He's a really solid player. Definitely prefers the USA, and also steers our ship more let's say conservatively, more by the book when me, and Josiah are fighting together, but definitely a good player.
Yeah, Justin, not a guy who likes to headline decall turn one without defectors, is he?
Yeah. Not his forte.
Okay, so Justin will be alongside me there, and potentially that's a potential semifinal matchup. We'll see if we can both get there. And then we have Ryan and Ed. So this will be Ryan. Um, and so Ryan is the Group C, or excuse me, Group B winner. And he actually was the only player to go undefeated in group play. And Ryan, obviously a big threat, Peter.
Oh yes, I actually have had the pleasure of meeting Ryan in person. Great dude,
Really?
and he took down the convention this year, so huge threat. I also still owe him money, so
Oh, okay.
I'll just say how great he is instead of that. I'll
Yeah,
pay him with compliments.
I'm sure that's what he's looking for. But yeah, Ryan slots in there as the winner of Group B, and that leaves Ed Prem out of Texas, the winner of Group C, to slot into the remaining slot there in the quarterfinals. And Ed, I don't know a ton about Ed, but I've not talked to him voice to voice, but I know he has his own channel, Gaming with the Colonel. I know he plays with Michael Stryker for Team Texas, so he's definitely a good player as well. And I always enjoy watching his videos. Peter, I think you've played against him before. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually had two matchups last year in our own Atlantic League. Regular season as well as a mini playoff before the actual playoff. Ed is a good player. He's really come around too, going from middle of the pack basically last year to taking it all for his division this year. So I definitely excited to see him advancing and improving.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, now we will do the draw for for the number 2 seed. So we have Graham, Andrew, Gabriel, and Tim. Of these players, I know the least about Andrew. I know Andrew had I believe, a 500 season last year in ITSL. Graham, I played against. We had a good game in group play, and then obviously Gabriel, captain of Team New York, and Tim Furrow. Heard a lot from Tim Furrow. He's definitely a big name in the community. So any of these guys are good players, and yeah, I know Peter. You mentioned Gabriel and Tim as being guys who could really make some noise from this first round of the tournament.
Yeah. Uh, Again, I don't know much about Andrew either, but the others all have a pretty solid reputation in the community. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see these matchups here.
Yeah, no question about it. Okay, so because I am in this slot and I came from Group A, we will be finding out who the number 2 seed here will be. It cannot be Graham because he was in Group A as well. So we will not have. We don't want to have a group play rematch until the semifinal. So it's between Andrew, Gabriel, and Tim. And let us roll the dice. It is going to be Gabriel. So, Gabriel helped knock me out of Atlantic League last year. He was in my group and beat me in group play. So, Gabriel comes from Group C. Okay, so Gabriel is done. So, the next one will be so Justin can't face Gabriel because Gabriel is facing me. He also can't face Tim because he saw him in group play. So, that means it's either going to be Graham or Andrew. Spin the wheel here, and it's going to be Andrew. So we will put Andrew here out of Group B. Okay, and then Ryan he can't play Andrew, he can't play Gabriel's, but he could play either Tim or Graham. So let us put that up here. And it's going to be Graham. So we will have Graham is 2A, and then Tim will play for the right to play Ed Prem. So Tim is 2D. Okay. All right. Well, that's the seeding for our second place finishers. Now we move on to the third place folks. These I think these names may be a little bit less well known to you, Peter. Any of these names stick out as familiar names? People you've played before? Any experience playing any of these folks?
I know I've played Steven. Actually, he and I faced off in the playoffs last year for the Atlantic League, and I think we went 2-1. Definitely a good competitor. Glad to see that he's made it back. Consistency is key to success. I also know David Amadon is in Team PA, but I don't think we've matched up. Um, and then Michael McKibben, didn't he win OTSL Silver last year with a perfect record?
Yes, Mike. I don't think he won the league overall. I think that was Tong, but he did finish 14-0 in OTSL Silver. So he had a heck of a season. Just wasn't able to replicate that success in the playoffs. But yeah, great regular season. Of course, ask Tom Brady and the 2007 Patriots how awesome it is to be regular season champs. But that was definitely a heck of a season and one to be proud of.
For sure. Yeah.
And
Looking
then
forward to seeing what
yeah,
he does here.
Sarah made the playoffs for the first time. They played in Atlantic League last year, did get one win, and this year they put up three, which a victory over Argo Dasgupta, kept him out of the playoffs at 3-2. He is the first player actually to miss the playoffs in Atlantic League despite having a winning record. Tough break there for Argo, but Sarah certainly a deserved playoff contender, and looking forward to seeing where they slot in here in the bracket. So we will move on here to slotting everybody in. So again, we've got Gabriel is from Group C. I'm from Group A, so we can have Michael or Sarah in this slot here, because that they came from B or D, and it will be Sarah. So that's interesting because Gabriel and Sarah play together on Team New York, I believe. So this will be a bit of an intrastate conflict there. And the winner will advance to play me. So that should be an interesting matchup, and should be an easy one to schedule, which is always nice when things get a little bit hectic when the ITSL season starts. I hope at least that RTSL season will start soon, and when people are trying to get a lot of games, things can get a little bit hectic.
That's for sure, especially after the summer season when it's been pretty quiet for a while. It'll be good to see some more action on Twitch and YouTube.
Yes, I look forward to that as well. But okay, so Sarah and Gabriel will meet up in the first round for the right to play against me. Then we will have Andrew, and Andrew cannot play against Michael. Sarah's already here, so it could be either David or Steven. David actually beat me in group play. He was the only player in Group A to beat me. He's beaten me one time before as well. Beat me in OTSL last year. So yeah, he's definitely a good player. I also think he went to that convention in Pennsylvania, the WBC, and I think he won the Twilight Struggle tournament there as well. So he won't be an easy out for anybody. And in this case, it's going to be Steven. So Steven, two-time Atlantic League participant, two-time playoff qualifier. So Steven comes out of Group C, and he'll play Andrew for the right to play Justin. Then we have...
I think you have a problem with this point.
Can't do it.
If I'm not mistaken.
Can't do that. You're right. So I didn't look far enough ahead. But yes, that will not work. It cannot be Steven here. So Steven's going to have to be here. Thank you, Peter. Yes, so Steven will have to be here, which means David A is here, and then that means that we get Michael here. Michael, unbeknownst to me, so I actually met both Tim and Michael at PresCon earlier this year, board gaming convention in Charlottesville, Virginia. And I did not know this, but Michael and I share an alma mater. We both went to Grinnell College in Iowa. Though we are proud pioneers. That is the pioneer in my in my Twitch handle and my Playdeck handle. And so it was fun hanging out with him. It was fun meeting Tim for the first time as well. We had talked, obviously over Discord and for a while, but it was nice meeting those guys. So we've got Tim and Michael. They actually, I know for a fact, they met in that tournament with Michael emerging victorious. So Tim going to be looking for a little bit of revenge as he wants to move on to face Ed in the second round. So looking forward to seeing how that one will turn out.
So are these best of 3 matches?
Yes, all of these will be best of 3. I think in the finals we maybe want to do best of 5 for the finals if both players agree. I'm hoping we can do that. But yeah, we will do best of 3 for the first 3 rounds, and maybe best of 5 for the finals in third place.
Cool, yeah.
Always makes things a little
Get
bit
it-
more exciting, and gives a little buffer for play deck ridiculousness in the playoffs, which nobody likes to get knocked out in an elimination round off of just bad play deck.
Yeah, Harib definitely playdecked me on Sunday in the Grand Slam, though he also beat me the day before, so maybe it was deserved.
Yeah, I know you did just make it to the finals of the Grand Slam. How did you do in the first day? Did you win 7 in a row before that loss?
Yeah, I went 3-0, 3-0, and then I faced off against Harib, and I terrorized him. And then I also, this is stupid because I was trying to DEFCON him, and then I missile envied Star Wars out of his hand, an unspaceable Star Wars out of his hand. This is what happens when you play 4 games in a row and you lose focus and attention. So he managed to pull it off when I could have beaten him in turn 8.
Oh no, yeah. You never assume that Missile Envy is gonna hit a 2-op, but that is rough. Did you know that he had that Star Wars? I mean, I assume you didn't know anything about his hand.
No, that was also the last card. It's the only card I could have taken, so it was a pure mental error after terrorizing him that I would missile envy Star Wars out of his hand. And yeah,
I see.
it was just awful. Just a bad play.
Yeah, well, that happens to the best of us. I've definitely made plays I regret, and I haven't played in any of those Grand Slams. I often have just so much going on weekends with my wife and kid, but I know that those are mentally taxing to say the least, to play essentially 4 games in a row on the first day, and then potentially up to 4 games in a row on the second day. I love Twilight Struggle, but man, that is a lot of Twilight Struggle, and you've just got to keep your focus as you play against these better and better players.
Yeah, for sure. And that was the difficulty for me, is staying locked in.
Yeah, that is definitely hard. I know JR was playing in one last year, and he had turn 7. It was turn 7. He had Gunman and We Will Bury You, No China, headlined Grain, pulled Brezhnev, and spaced it for 3 VPs, which was great until he realized that he had 2 DEF CON cards in his hand, and now he couldn't space either one.
Yeah, problem.
So
but you are talking about 2022 New York Grand Slam champion J.R. Jones, are you not?
Yes, of course. So, yes, there's 2022 New York Grand Slam champion J.R. Jones. That obviously wasn't the New York Grand Slam, because obviously J.R. is king of the 2022 New York Grand Slam, at least. So it's always fun watching him play in those, and I love that. We're getting some more streamers. I know Jordan Cass streamed a couple games yesterday, and so hope we can just get some more live Twilight Struggle content as this ITSL season gets rolling. No disrespect, of course, to you YouTube folks who post your games after I watch those. I do watch those when I get a chance as well.
Sure.
But
and I've heard in the past you also are open to recording or commentating on games that are recorded and sent to you. So if any of these players wanted you to do that, would you be open to that this year?
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. I did get a couple of games sent to me in group play, and I'd love to do even more of that in the playoffs. To just have call a game. Call a few games on my channel. It's I can speed it up. It doesn't take that long, and I find it interesting to just to comment on the game to see how they go. So yes, any of these players who would like their game commented by me, feel free to record the game, send it to me on a Google Drive, and I will comment it for you. I know some players, think I'm a little bit too critical. And don't like their moves being torn apart publicly, so I certainly understand that. But if you're interested to get my take, I'd love to broadcast your game. So thank you, Peter, for mentioning that. But okay, Peter, the time has come. You are, it's great to have you here for many reasons, but one is that you're an unbiased observer. You did not play in Atlantic League this year. You're obviously not in the playoff bracket, so I can ask you for your unbiased opinion. Here's our bracket of 12 players. So I want you to now give me two championship picks. I want your favorite. So the favorite you think the most likely to win it all, take down the title, and then I want from you a dark horse, somebody who didn't get a first round bye, maybe not a big name in the community, who you think maybe not win it all, but somebody who could do some serious damage in the tournament and bust some brackets, as it were.
Sure, yeah. I think my pick, you said I don't have any bias. Well, I sort of do have a bias. I think I'm going to pick Justin Nordstrom, my PA companion. He's a very solid player, and as someone with a bye, I assume that means you can also pick your side, so I assume he'll pick USA. I think he's going to go quite far in this tournament, and hopefully make it all the way to the end. So I think he would be my main pick here.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. So the rule here will be if the two players, when in the playoffs, the player with the higher seed gets to pick their side for game one and then game three if it happens. If the two players have the same seed, then it will just be random switch random. So yes, Justin will get to select his side in the second round for sure, and maybe in future rounds depending on who he plays against. But yes, thank you for bringing that up. But okay.
I guess in this scenario,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guess in this scenario, Tim Furrow would qualify as a dark horse. I know he's done quite well in the past. He even won this last year, as we mentioned. But having to play an extra match, having not gotten a bye, I think I'm gonna put my vote on Tim for sticking it out to the end. But yeah, we'll see. He has some tough competitors in front of him.
Yep, he does. Okay, so a little. You know what, Peter? I'm sorry. We've got 5 minutes left. I can't let you go on that. I cannot let you go picking the defending champion as the dark horse. So can you pick a name from the other 7 players in the first round who you think is most likely to do some damage?
All right, let's go with Steven. I played him last year. He was pretty tough, so I'll say Steven's my dark horse.
Yeah.
Steven Deutsch.
And that's fair enough. Yeah, Steven I also played him last year. He also beat me. He actually turn 3 steamrolled me in group play. That was my last game of group play. I was a win and in, lose and go home, and I lost. So Steven, definitely a good player, a guy who can press his advantage when he has one. Oh yes, and Harry has joined the commentary, has joined the chat. Harry missed out on the playoffs, unfortunately, by turn score. Hate deciding playoff spots by turn score, but it is what it is. And yes, I picked Harry to win OTSL. I don't remember if it was last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, he had a little bit of a tough season. So yeah, a little bit of a jinx, I guess. But Peter, thank you for your picks. I think Justin's a very good pick. Obviously, Tim is likely is not to be counted out against anybody. And then I think Steven, yeah, for sure could make some noise. That would be an interesting matchup between him and Ryan in the second round should he get there. We'll love to try and get that one on my channel. But anyway, we're getting close to the top of the hour, so we can sign off now. Peter, thanks so much for joining. Any final thoughts on this bracket? Anything you would like to express to the Twilight Struggle community in general before we sign off?
Just really excited to see these games play. So thankful for all the competitors putting in their time both to play but also to record for the Twitch and YouTube viewing community. We really appreciate it and are learning a lot from games that are being posted. So just looking forward to all of this.
Yes, thank you, Peter. And I'm sure, Peter, you are also looking. I know I said that was the last word, but I'm sure you're also looking forward to your games against Team California in the U.S. Cup as well. A tough loss for Team DC last night, but obviously best of luck to you guys moving forward. So I hope you guys can get that scheduled soon. I know the community always enjoys those team games.
Sure, and of course, JR has never beaten me, so I'm not terribly worried yet.
Yes, nor should you be. Nor should you be. But okay, that will do it for our coverage of the Atlantic League draw. Folks who are in the league, I will send around an email with these details and everything like that, so you know exactly what you need to do. Everybody else, thank you very much for watching. I will try and have as many of these games as possible broadcasted on my channel, especially as we get to the later rounds. But we really appreciate you tuning in. For Peter France, this is Justin Abramson. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of the draw as much as we enjoyed bringing it home to you. So long for just a while.